most welcome to Historiespanarna, History Reconnaissance, and Rising from the Decks, the dawn of US Naval Aviation. This time we have some great stuff for you. Follow us and see the aviator pioneers of the US Navy and Marine Corps experimenting and evolving to a formidable fighting force. In April 1917, when the United States declared that a state of war existed with the German Empire, the strength of US naval aviation, Navy and Marine Corps combined, was only 54 airplanes, 1 airship, 3 balloons, 1 air station, 48 officers and 239 enlisted men. On March 9, 1919, the first flight from a battleship platform is made by Lieutenant Commander Edward O. MacDonald in a Sopwith Camel from turret number 2 of the battleship USS Texas. And coming up, US naval aviation in the 1930s, preparing for a new type of maritime warfare. And please, like, share and subscribe, it means a lot to us. The Allied supply lines were threatened by German U-boats. A US naval aviation group was one of the first to reach Europe. Flyers took on U-boat patrols from the coasts of England, Italy and France, and raided German submarine pens on the North Sea. Davis' non-recoiling gun was 2 guns connected back to back, with a backwards facing gun loaded with lead balls and grease of the same weight as the shell in the outer gun, acting as a counter. It was used experimentally by the British and Americans as an anti-zeppelin and anti-submarine weapon. It came in 3 sizes, 2-pounder, 6-pounder and 12-pounder. Usually a Lewis machine gun was mounted on top of the barrel, mainly for use in sighting.
Under Commander John Towers, 3 of the MCs left New York in May 1919 to attempt a transatlantic flight to Portugal via Newfoundland and the Azores. Only the NC-4 made it all the way. The NC-4's skipper, Lieutenant Commander Albert Reed, and his crew were given a dignified welcome in England and a noisy one in New York.
Now came the 1920s, a period when US naval aviation developed rapidly. Under the leadership of Rear Admiral Moffett, the Bureau of Aeronautics developed strategies for deploying aircraft on ships at sea. First, gun turrets on capital ships were rigged to launch aircraft. This equipment was not always dependable. The next step was safer and stronger catapults for cruisers and battleships, enabling them to carry their own aerial scouts. Now, the time was ripe to develop a way for ships to carry many planes. Floating airfields for effective sea-air attack. First, extensive tests with arresting gear had to be carried out on land. By 1922, such a gear that could do the job was available. This was now installed on the Navy's first aircraft carrier, the USS Langley. In 1920 it was converted from the Navy collier USS Jupiter, and it became the US Navy's first turbo-electric powered ship. It carried 36 aircraft and was equipped with 1 elevator and 1 catapult. The era of the aircraft carrier was born. On October 26, 1922, Lieutenant Godfrey Chevalier made the Navy's first carrier landing in an aeromarine. Still, there was much left to learn about deck operations. The pioneers kept on trying and risking their lives to test new techniques and gain experience. Eventually, their efforts paid off, and carrier operations became routine. Now, the Navy had a new weapon to wield beside the big guns of the battle fleet. After World War I, the US Navy developed rigid airships to be used as long-range scouts. In 1922, the first airship, USS Shenandoah, was built at Lakehurst, New Jersey. In 1924, the USS Los Angeles, built in Germany, was delivered. Then followed the US-built USS Akron and USS Macon. A Navy tanker, the USS Patoka, served as a seagoing base for the airships. It was fitted with a dirigible mast for mooring the airships and permitting them to operate with the fleet for extended periods. The Akron and Macon even had their own aircraft. Each carried 4 F-9C Sparrowhawk fighters in a hangar, and they could carry fifths in a trapeze. In 1933, the USS Akron was caught in a severe storm off the coast of New Jersey, with the loss of 73 of its 76-man crew. In 1935, the USS Macon was lost offshore near Point Sur Lighthouse, California, after suffering a structural failure. This marked the end of the Navy's rigid airship program.
Out to sea goes the carrier, a sort of floating eagle's nest, waiting for its fledglings to come home to roost. Carrier operations is one of the final phases in a naval flyer's training, and this is his chance to spread his wings. He comes flying in as the word goes out. All planes to join the ship at once. It's rather ticklish dropping down on what looks like nothing more than a postage stamp when viewed from above, but the lads seem to have it down pat. As the carrier speeds on, the ship's officers get ready to give the new pilots aboard some real flight action. Flight quarters, flight quarters. Below decks, the men gather for instructions. Listen intently as the battle plan is graphically explained. Fighting planes are to proceed out to sea to attack an enemy ship. Bombers are to proceed inland to storm another objective. As the men go up on deck, there's both anticipation and determination in their manner, for this is the test. The enemy is fictitious, but the maneuvers, the instruments, the objectives are real. There's heavy activity on the top side as the fighters are the first to shove off. The last fighting ship climbs into the air and heads out to sea. The bombers quickly follow suit and proceed landward. and they proceed with complete confidence. For this so-called new tactic of dive bombing has been standard training in this Navy for more than 10 years. As they near their objective, the young pilots steady to the attack, gird themselves for the roaring thrill of a 500-mile-an-hour power dive.
That's all folks. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.